Welcome back, everyone, to this episode of Dale's Rails. And this week, I had the opportunity to be on the other side of town. So I took this occasion to stop in my local Menards there and picked up a couple of things I'll share with you guys. And if you can see behind me there, I've been doing a little bit of housekeeping, and I thought this would be a good time to run my Marx E7 collection. So grab a seat, sit back, and I hope you enjoy the show. Well, as you can see here, one of the new cars I picked up is this Milwaukee Road box car. And, I have little to no Milwaukee Road rolling stock, so, I just thought this would be a good opportunity to pick it up since they had it there. And if you guys seen my previous videos, you know that what I think about the box cars. I think they're a pretty good deal for the money, and they certainly have the better couplers on them. And, I have some other Menards New Haven rolling stock, but I didn't have this version of the tank car. I do have the orange and black version. And I wanted to go ahead and add this to the collection. And since I'm, going to run my E7 diesels, one of the sets is a New Haven. So I'm going to go ahead and run these in with it. It's probably not the right size, but, I'm not really too concerned about stuff like that. Well, these are the 5 sets I'll be running for this run session. On the lower level, clear to the back, is the Union Pacific. And it was sold as a single A unit. And it is accompanied by its matching caboose that I'll be running with it. The next set in front of that is the green, yellow, and red striped Western Pacific here. It was sold as an ABA set. It's not accompanied by a matching caboose. In fact, I'm running a unmarked Marx caboose with it. It doesn't have any markings on it. It is green. It's a little bit unusual. And I've been looking for the caboose that goes with this set. I believe it's a bay window style caboose. And then the next set on the lower level here, the front set here, is going to be the Rock Island set. This was sold as an ABA set, and that's the way I'll be running it. It's accompanied by the Rock Island bay window caboose. And on the upper level here, I've got this New Haven set. This was actually a combine of 2 different sets that I have. I'm running it as an ABA, but this is really an AA and an AB set the way I bought them. And it does have the matching caboose that goes with it. And then on this upper level outer loop here is the New York Central version. These are the long flag versions. These were sold only as an AA set. And there is a short flag version, meaning these flags here. I believe those were sold, much like the Union Pacific, as a single A unit. I'm running it with the New York Central passenger cars. This set was not sold that way, but that's just the way I'm going to run it. I do have the matching caboose that goes with the New York Central set here. But I won't be running it at this time. And this week's Nerdvana segment will be over the Marx E7 color schemes. And the question is, were these an accurate depiction of the color schemes used for these roads? And be sure to stay to the end of that. I'll have the answer for you. And I think for now, though, I think it's time to get these underway, and we'll start running them. Well, I sure hope you guys enjoyed this run session tonight and watching these Marx E7 diesels running around the layout. And of the 5 sets here, I believe the New York Central to be one of the early production sets, along with some of the Santa Fe sets, with their single reduction gearing and fat wheel design motors. As you can see by this right here. So the fat wheels are what your gearing is out here to the edge of your wheel flanges, which makes these not suited to run through the Lionel 022 turnouts. And unlike the New Haven set here and all the other sets on this layout, this come with the double reduction plastic geared motors with the traction tires, which tends to make these excellent pullers, by the way. These will pull rather long consist, more than what you would imagine probably. And that particular set is a custom set. I bought it this way. You can see here with the painted silver ladder rungs. It didn't come that way. It does have a decal here for the New York, Hartford, and New Haven decal. And the New Haven decals here, it does have some numbers here in the number board, and they put the silver horns. And for those of you who may not know, the silver horns were only used on the New York Central version. So this was, somebody painted these or changed them out to silver. And the New York Central set here, I have, I'm not sure if these are the actual cabooses that go with these sets necessarily, but you know, that's kind of the way I collect them to be. You can see here this New York Central version caboose here somewhat matches the E7 diesel. And the E7s here, they are a set that I have not seen with, you know, other than with this type of motor, these double AA sets with the long flags anyway. I'm not sure about the short flag versions, if they have the newer double reduction motors or not. But these are not a common set. I mean, they're considered somewhat rare. You know, maybe that tells a story, but it doesn't really surprise me that, you know, the New York Central version and the Santa Fe sets were probably the earliest production run of these, just because that's kind of in keeping in line with Lionel, how they introduced theirs. And, you know, to answer our Nerdvana question, whether or not these were depicted in an actual representation of the actual paint scheme. And, you know, it's kind of believed that Marx really, you know, was considered a toy company, and they didn't really, you know, adhere to attention to detail with that. But, you know, I'm going to say not so much with these E7s. Easy way to tell an E7 from any other E unit is, you know, they had square windows here. Everything else had porthole windows, so they're easy to distinguish, the E7s. And I think these are all a pretty good, accurate representation of the liveries that they modeled. You might make the argument that Union Pacific, not so much, and certainly not the Allstate set. There really wasn't an Allstate set. But these other sets, you know, they, I think they're pretty accurate paint scheme. And you might kind of question the New York Central here, but actually this is a paint scheme that General Motors used to introduce these to the New York Central. And the New York Central, they were never that impressed with General Motors paint schemes, and they kind of prided themselves on coming up with their own paint schemes. And so, I'm not sure the actual word they use, but hideous comes to mind. I think they refer to this somewhat as a hideous paint scheme. And, what ensued after that was not long after that was the gray with lightning stripe paint scheme that the New York Central Railroad came up with. And ironically, the Penn Central version that I don't have here, that come in this jade color green, Penn Central here. You could make the argument that's not an accurate paint scheme, but that's not entirely true either. During that time, I think there was some collaboration going on, and anticipating the New York Central used this jade color green. I think they called it their century green. Ironically, to replace the gray with lightning stripe for their paint schemes. And as the story goes, I think they did paint some E8 units. I'm not so sure they painted E7s in this color scheme, but there was, I think, an E8 set painted in this paint scheme. But the company, Penn Central, went defunct before that came to fruition. And so it never really materialized, but it is something that they were contemplating using at the time and patching with their new Penn Central logo. So that's tonight's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, you've been watching Dale's Rails, and thanks for watching.